afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Jennie Montgomery. Welcome to another half hour of information to help you make the most of your time, to make informed decisions, and to keep up with goings on around Greater Augusta. Today's show is about moving on after devastating loss. We have two very special women here today who have experienced the ultimate heartache, the death of a child. Lisa Metters lost her daughter to colorectal cancer at a very young age, way before people start getting screenings. We'll hear from her shortly. First, though, Augusta native Ryan Clark, a Lakeside High School graduate, was a senior at Virginia Tech, majoring in biology and English with a 4.0 GPA. He was a member of the Marching Virginians College Band when he was gunned down April 16, 2007. Ryan died a hero. He was an RA who was shot while trying to protect another student from the gunman who would take so many lives that horrific day. The lives lost in school shootings is stunning, and for the families of victims, it's almost unbearable to see it happen over and over again. Including the gunman, the total is some 130 people since 1999. These are the 5 deadliest school shootings. In 2015, a community college in Oregon killed 10 people. Columbine in 1999, 15 people. In 2018, the Valentine shooting in Parkland, Florida, 17 deaths. In 2012, 20 little children were among the 27 dead at Sandy Hook Elementary School just before Christmas. And 2007, Virginia Tech University in Blacksburg, Virginia, 33 deaths. And it is my pleasure right now and privilege to introduce you to Ryan's mother, Letitie Clark, who has been living with the loss of her son for almost a dozen years now.
Yes.
That doesn't seem possible, does it? 12 years ago.
It doesn't, but it has. It's been 12 years.
I have watched you through these dozen years and how you have had to deal with not only the loss of your son, but it was such a public loss because it was a horrifying mass shooting.
Yes.
Of course, lots and lots of media talked to you when it happened, and there was so much support, especially from his high school, Lakeside High School.
Yes.
What happens, though, in the years after the shooting? What happens to you when you hear these statistics, when you hear other school shootings and more kids being killed?
You know, when you hear this, you just go through a little trauma of your own. Mm-hmm. It gives you flashbacks because you hurt for those parents, because you know exactly what they're feeling. You know the harshness of losing a child.
And you know it in a way that none of us do. I mean, we might be able to empathize, but you know that feeling. You know that terror of thinking, oh my gosh, there's been a shooting and my child is there.
Yes. You know, you just start to pray first of all. You pray for peace in their hearts, but then you start to pray that the lawmakers will start to listen and do something a little bit different, because as a parent, that is one of the worst things that you can hear. The news, you don't want to get that news.
Mm-hmm. You had 2 other children. Ryan was a twin, and you also had a daughter. So while you're all mourning the loss of Ryan, you're also having to support them because
Yes.
you're still their mother.
Yes. You know, you never forget that you're a mother and that Ryan has siblings, mm-hmm. and they love him as much as I love him. So you have to let each person grieve in their own right, and you have to be there to support them in any way that they need support, and that's what I try to do.
I remember for so long when I would drive by your house that was near Lakeside High School at the time, the ribbons, the Virginia Tech ribbons, yes. that were outside. How did you just finally come to terms with all of that? And when were you able to go to that school and see the memorial?
You know, when I go to that school, not only is it hard, mm-hmm. but it's peaceful, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Because being here in the CSRA, it's like having a blanket. You know you're home and you know you're loved and cared for, but you also miss that piece of your child that should be there and be growing along with everyone else. But Lakeside and the CSRA has comforted me so much that you feel blessed at the same time. So all you want to do is give back and give peace to someone else.
You have done that in such a remarkable way. One of the things that I remember so much in the early years was when the Virginia Tech band, the marching band, played at a Lakeside High School football game. And that was such a wonderful tribute to Ryan because he was such a big part of that band and had been so popular at Lakeside.
Yes, he was, and that's just what I'm saying. The CSRA honored Ryan, Lakeside, Virginia Tech, and I think Evans High, all of CSRA. It makes your heart full to know the comfort that people can give you in a time of tragedy, that you can take a tragedy and turn it into a blessing for someone so that they don't feel this pain or can help ease their pain. Ryan was a happy child, and to give back in his honor, to love in his honor, is all his family wants to do.
Well, you do it so beautifully, and we're going to take a break now, but when we come back, Letitie's going to tell us how she keeps Ryan's legacy alive. And you may have heard of the Ryan Clark Scholarship. We'll hear about that and the big Zumba Fest coming up, so stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking with Letitie Clark, whose son Ryan was killed in the deadliest school shooting in U.S. history, the Virginia Tech Massacre, April 16, 2007 in Blacksburg, Virginia. And Letitie, over the years, it has been important for you to keep Ryan's legacy alive.
Yes.
One way that you do that is through the Ryan Clark Scholarship and Community Service Award. So tell us about that. It goes to an area student?
It goes to an area student in Richmond and Columbia County, ages 14 to 19, and we have an application process which just ended in March 1st. They were all turned in, and it's for a child that volunteers, gives back to the community. So it is not for an athlete, just an athlete. If you're an athlete and get it, great.
Right.
It's not for someone that makes straight A's. If you make straight A's, that's wonderful as well. But everyone can give back. So it's for a child that says, I'm giving back to my community. If I play sports, that's wonderful. But if I give back on top of it, we love it. So that's what we do.
And so they fill out an application. Do they write an essay, or what do they do for that part?
Part of it is an essay. And what we want to know is why. Why do you give back? What is it about giving back that inspires you? And that is the determining factor. A lot of it is about you. It's what's in your heart. So we have a process that we do go through, and we have a committee that selects, but we have a ceremony in May, and we give 3 scholarships. We give a $2,000 scholarship, a $1,000 scholarship, and a $500 scholarship.
That's great. So you have your big winner, and then like a first and second place.
We do.
That is wonderful. And I know that that's a big night for the kids. I have had the pleasure of being at your award ceremony before, and that's a very big night, and I'm sure it's a happy night for you.
It is. It's a very blessed night. To be able to give back, to give to a child, to support a young person that's inspired to give to their community and go forward and do something else, is always a blessing. But to give it in honor of Ryan, who gave so much and always was volunteering and giving back, is even a bigger blessing for a mother.
That's beautiful. Well, it's important for you to know that you can help support this because Zumba Fest is coming up, and that is your big fundraiser, which you call a fundraiser.
Yes.
Yeah. So how does what is the Zumba Fest? It's a 2-hour event.
Oh,
and
Zumba
are you
Fest.
doing Zumba the whole time?
I am, and you are, and all that comes can do Zumba with us.
Right.
We have an awesome time, and this year we have partnered with the Kroc Center of Augusta.
Fantastic.
From 2 to 4, March 30th, and we will be Zumbaing with some of the best CSRA Zumba instructors there is.
Yeah.
We also have instructors coming from Indiana and Tampa, Florida, that will be working out with us, and it is our big fundraiser. It's one way that you can support the scholarship. And we also will have some vendors there. So ladies, you can shop. They can do
Very
all
good.
kinds
We
of
always
things.
like that, don't we? We love the vendors.
That's it. And it is for men too. So we don't want to say it's not for men, because it is, because we all need exercise and we all need to have fun.
Yeah. It's coming up on Saturday, the 30th of March, 2 to 4 p.m. at the Kroc Center. What a gorgeous facility you're going to have that at. And you can see there on the screen, you can register at Eventbrite, or as Letitia said, you can buy a ticket from a local Zumba instructor.
Yes.
And we do have a number for you to call if you need more information. It's 706-434-9279. Letitie Clark, thank you for showing us with such grace how you have moved through this tragedy in your life and how you just hope to help others in Ryan's memory.
Thank you. Thank you for always being so supportive.
Certainly. We'll be right back. Coming up on Jennie, she lost her daughter to colorectal cancer at a surprisingly young age. Now Lisa Metters is using her pain to propel action. Her story coming up right after the break.